YOLO. YOLO.
Who is speaking? Okay. So good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. We'll start now. Okay. So in the last class, we have gone for the Prandtl method. Okay. So in this, we'll start with the Terzaghi theory. Okay. Okay. Acha. Can somebody suggest me how to remove this one? Can you see this at the bottom? This rectangle is the yellow one. Can somebody suggest me how to remove it? Hello? Okay, anyway, we'll start now. So, I hope you are able to listen to me, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Please respond because I am not able to see you people, so I need to depend upon your response, okay? Okay. Now, so today we are going to start this Terzaghi bearing capacity theory, okay? So, if you see the compared to the Prandtl method, the only because first theory which has been started is the Prandtl method, okay, which is still now we are referring. And Terzaghi theory was based on Prandtl. Whatever the assumptions he has done, Terzaghi also done the same thing. Only difference is that in case of Terzaghi, he considered the base of the footing to be rough. Okay, so that is one of the significant difference between the Prandtl theory and the Terzaghi bearing capacity. Now, let us go to the assumption in the Terzaghi bearing capacity theory. Okay. So depth of foundation is less than or equal to its width. That means if the width of the footing is B, capital B, then the depth should be less than B, capital B, okay, or equal to B. Okay, then only it will be, this theory can be applied. That means it is a shallow foundations only, okay. Next, the base of the footing is rough. That means the friction between the bottom of the foundation or footing and the soil has some value. It is not zero. In some of the assumptions they consider this to be smooth, not which is not actually happens, because there will be always some angle of friction between the soil and the bottom face of the foundation. So that is what Terzaghi has considered. Okay. Soil above the bottom of the foundation has no shear strength. That is only a surcharge load against the overturning load. That means in this case, we are assuming that the failure surface which you have seen earlier in case of that Prandtl method, here also we are not assuming that this failure surface is going above the bottom level of the footing. Okay, whatever the failure surface is happening, it is happening up to the bottom level surface. Okay, so and whatever the load is extra is coming, the surcharge load is just applied over it. Okay, so if any overturning is happening, that surcharge load will be against the overturning load. Overturning load means the load which is pushing out the zone 2 and 3, which we have already seen in case of the Prandtl method. Okay. So charge up to the base of the footing is considered. Okay, same. Load applied is vertical and non-eccentric also. Okay, so there is no eccentricity of the load. The soil is homogeneous and isotropic, which I think you already know. Okay, and L by B ratio is infinity. That means length of the footing by width of the footing is infinity. B is the width of the footing. That means this tree footing is extending over a length of infinity. Okay. Now let me show you this diagram or failure pattern in case of Terzaghi bearing capacity theory. So if you see here, okay, here length width of the footing is B. Okay, Q alt is the applied or the ultimate bearing capacity of the footing which is applied here. Okay, here also three zones are developed. Okay, similar to Prandtl here also. Here second, third zones. Okay, and the phi value is here. Phi value is this same thing which is here. I have shown it here. Okay, so ABC is phi. So in this case, and this is the wage which you are considering with a weight of W. Okay, and so this is, if you see the waves like this surface and this surface. Okay, so over this part of the weight is coming. Okay, and this in this plane failure is happening. Okay, so here the cohesion factor will be there. Okay, Ca will be there, and this Pp is the passive earth pressure which will be coming acting like this. So and this passive earth pressure will be acting an angle of phi with respect to the normal to this surface. Now actually I need to mute you people. Okay. Okay. So this is what happened in this case, and here the angle will be 45 minus 5 by 2. Okay, and this is 45. So you here also this angle will be, this is 5 and this is 45 minus 5 by 2. So you can see what will be the angle here. That will be 180 minus 45 minus 5 by 2 minus 5. Okay, so this is the basic diagram of Terzaghi, what he has considered. Okay, now okay. So we are considering a footing of width B and depth BF loaded with a Q alt and resting in the soil unit weight of gamma. Now I am explaining whatever this diagram is there, this whatever the lines I have written, it is basically that one. Okay. So the failure of the zones is divided into three zones as shown in the figure. The zone 1 represents an active Rankine zone. Okay, this is the active Rankine zone. Zone 2, 3 is passive Rankine zone. Okay, and this passive Rankine zone, and the boundaries of the active Rankine zone rise at an angle of 45 plus 5 by 2. Okay, and those of the passive zone is 45 minus 5 by 2. Okay, so this is how it is done here. Okay, zone 2 are known as zone of radiation. This is the radial shear. Okay, which is the first line that constitute one set in the shear pattern in these zones radiate from outer edge of the base of the footing. So if you see, this is the center point of this whole zone. Okay, so from here only this radius, initial radius will be there, which will be increasing like this or variating like this. So there is a relationship between this and this, any radius we are having, and that will be defined by this theta value. Okay. Now, since the base of the footing area, the soil located between it and the two surfaces of sliding. So this A, B, C which will be ABC, remains in a state of equilibrium, acts as if it formed a part of the footing. So it is not deformed, so it is considered to be part of the footing itself. Okay. And the surfaces AC and BC rise at phi to the horizontal. So this AC and BC, they are at an angle of phi to the horizontal. Okay. At the instant of failure, the pressure on each of the surfaces AC and BC is equal to the resultant of the passive pressure P. Okay, this I already told you. So here the passive pressure PP is acting, and the cohesion factor CA is there. Okay. Since slips occurs along these faces AC and BC, because this is when it is moving, this entire ABC wedge will be part of the footing only. So it is moving as a whole. So whatever movement is happening in between this soil and this body. Okay. So here this slip surface along which the movement of the soil is happening. So at the instant of the failure, the pressure on each of the surface AC and BC is equal to the resultant of passive path pressure P and the cohesion CA. Okay, and say CA. Since slips occur along these surfaces, these faces in BC, the resultant earth pressure PCP acts at an angle of phi, which is equal to delta or wall friction angle to the normal on the face A, as you consider in the vertical direction. So what it is saying is that this PP will be acting at an angle of phi, which is the angle of interaction between the soil and the your this wall, this face, which will be equal to phi. Okay, and when you make a resultant of that, so that will have this PP value will be acting at angle of phi with respect to the normal to the surface. Now, incidentally, this PP become vertical. Okay, when it is kept at angle of phi with respect to this normal, it will be vertical because it is phi here. This CB, BC, BAC is phi. So this AC, if you put a normal to that and onto that normal, if you make a resultant like PP, this will be at angle of phi. Okay, and when you keep it angle of phi, automatically PP will be vertical. Okay, so the points to be considered is that here PP will be acting in a vertical direction. Okay, next. Okay. Okay. Now the adhesion factor CA on the face of AC and BC is given by CA equal to B by 2 cos phi into C. Okay. So here this CA is there now. This value is B by 2 cos phi into C, and C is a unit cohesion of the soil. Actually, this C value you can find it using this traction test or something like that. That will give you the actual cohesion value of the soil. With the shearing resistance of the soil is defined by the Coulomb's equation S equal to C plus sigma tan phi. Okay. So based on that, the CA value will be by 2 cos phi into C. Considering unit length of the footing and the equilibrium wave of which ABC, the vertical components of all forces must be summed up to 0. That is obvious because as you know, if some system is in equilibrium, that means at any given any part of the system is under equilibrium. Now, when any part of the equilibrium is under any part is under equilibrium, that means if you make a free body of that particular part, the total forces acting on that body should be 0. Okay, that is what basically this idea is. Okay, so the considering unit length of the footing and the equilibrium of which ABC, the vertical component of all the forces must be summed to 0. So it will be 0. Now, when you do that, whatever the forces acting on these ways, total will be added and equated to 0. Now, the other forces which is acting here will be the weight of the soil in the waves, and that will be gamma b square by tan phi by 4. Okay. I will advise you people to do the calculation more bit by yourself, because if you see what is the length, this is a triangle, right? If you know the length of base length of the triangle and you know the height of the triangle, you can easily find the area of the triangle. Now once you know the area of the triangle, this you multiplied by 1. So because in this direction, in the onto the, if you put a perpendicular to this face, in this direction this element is extended, so the volume will be 1 into that area, and that is multiplied by this gamma will give you the weight. Okay, so this is how you get the weight of this triangle waves. Now next we'll go to okay. Now next is, and please don't worry, this diagram at the bottom I have given, it is repeating in every slide, so that every time you read that particular slide, you can already refer those diagrams here. Okay. Okay. Now, if you continue that, then it will be total vertical load which is acting only V will be 0, and this will be B into Q alt. Okay. If it is the forces which is acting, Q alt is the ultimate load which is acting on the face of this foundation, bottom face. Weight of the wedge is gamma B square into 10 5 for the which you have already seen, minus 2 pp, because on the both the wedge, if you see AC and BC, there is 2 p are acting. From one is left side, one is right side. So 2 pp into BC 10 5. So this is because of this CA factor. Okay. So that's why when you combine from those sides, it will be BC 10 5. So combinedly they become equal to 0. Okay. So now this become equal to QLT equal to 2 pp by B plus C 10 5 minus gamma B 10 5 by 4. Okay. B will be cancelled out. Okay. So this equation represents the solution to the problem if PP is no. Okay. Now, as you already have not done the Rankine theory, you know how to find PP. Okay. If there is a retaining wall, you know how to find the PP. So you have to think a bit. Okay. And imagine in this whole thing, which will be the retaining wall, and how I am going to see the PP value acting over it. Okay. So this is, so in this case, for a simpler case of df equal to 0, that means when the footing is at the surface, c equal to 0, that means when there is no cohesion between the soil, and q equal to 0, that is the surcharge load. Okay, that is not there. So basically, when that is the condition, that means this is a bare footing resting on the horizontal surface of mass of cohesion is less soil. This is a special case because, okay, so it is a cohesion less soil and in the footing it at the surface. In that case, what will be this equation? Okay, so in those cases, okay, so PP value will be half into gamma square by cos delta into sin alpha into Kp. Okay, so what you have to think in that manner, H is the, this is the actual, if you remember, this is the actual Rankine theory. Okay, in actual Rankine theory, I hope you already know what is H, which is the height of the Rankine wall. Delta, the interaction angle. Alpha is the angle at which the failure zone is developed. Okay, that alpha value. Okay, so in this case, if you see this diagram, please see the diagram as in, imagine in that way. H equal to B by 2, 10 5. So B by 2, 10 5 means what? Which will be what the case? 10 5 will be what? This is B by 2. This is by, so this will be, give me a minute. So 10 5 will be B by 2. So B by 2, 10 5. So H will be B by 2 10 phi, delta equal to phi, interaction Kp equal to Kp gamma, alpha equal to 180 minus phi. So this is the phase we are considering. Okay. So the this is the B by 2 cos theta sin theta by cos theta. Okay. So B by 2 tan theta. So this will be this length. Okay. This is the h. Okay. H by B by 2 will be 10 phi. So this h will be again B by 2 into 10 phi. So this is the, if you imagine that this will be the height of the Rankine wall, then accordingly everything will fall in place. So alpha will be 180 minus phi. Okay. So once you do that, when you apply that, so in case of h, you are applying the value of b by 2 10 phi square. In case of uh, kp gamma, so that will also automatically come. Okay. Unfortunately, this part I am not able to show you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now I hope you can see it now. This is 1 by 2 gamma b square by 4 into 10 phi by cos square phi. Okay. And into kp gamma. Okay. Here kp gamma is the coefficient of basic mass pressure for C equal to phi, alpha equal to 180 minus phi, and delta equal to phi. So that is the value purely due to the weight of the soil. Okay. Now next we'll go. Now substitute this equation 14.59. This one, whatever PP you have developed, we are going to apply here in equation 14.58. In this case, what will happen? You'll see that. Okay, you'll see that this Q and C, when C equal to 0, 1 by 4 gamma b no 10 phi into Kp gamma by cos square alpha minus 1. Okay, and this will be equal to 1 by 2 gamma b into n gamma, and n gamma is half 10 phi into Kp gamma by cos square phi minus 1. So this n gamma is a bearing capacity factor. Okay, and this is only considering the overburden phase. Okay, this is the case when only the density of the soil is considered, or unit weight of soil is considered. Okay, this is the contribution of that. We are not considering the overburden pressure. We are not considering the C value. We are not considering anything. Okay. So the value of Kp gamma is obtained by means of the spiral or the friction circle method. Since the angle of wall friction delta, the slope angle alpha of the contact phase is equal to phi and to 180 minus phi respectively. The value of Kp gamma and hence the n gamma value depends only on the value of phi. So n gamma value is purely this. Kp gamma can be expressed in terms of phi only. So this total n gamma value can be explained in terms of phi. Okay. So this n gamma is only depending upon the phi value. Okay. So phi value. So this n gamma is the bearing capacity care factor. Okay. Now, if you remember in that earlier case in Prandtl method, there is another two bearing capacity factors. That we are going to see how these things will come into picture. Okay. Okay. This I hope you understood. Okay. Next we'll go. Okay. For calculation of bearing capacity for a cohesive soil, okay, the computation of PP involves a considerable amount of labor. So we have to put some effort here. Terjaghi therefore advocated simplified approach which is based on the equation PPN equal to H by sin alpha into C KPC plus Q KPQ, okay, plus half gamma square Kp gamma by sin alpha. This we have already rubbed. Now please understand that this is this can be, I can show you these things how it is developed, but this is beyond and beyond your uh, coverage area because it is not needed for the BTech students. Okay. So this is what Terjaghi has considered these equations. Okay. So we are going to use these equations directly. Okay. So here PPN is the normal component of the passive pressure on a plane contact phase with a height h. Alpha is the slope angle of the contact phase. Okay. KPC, KPQ, and KP gamma is the coefficient of whose values are independent of H and gamma. Okay, so all are dependent on nearly phi value. Okay. Now, phi and C value in some cases. Okay. So in case of H equal B by 2 10 phi alpha equal 180 minus phi and delta equal to phi, PP equal to PPN by cos delta equal to PPN by cos phi. Okay, so this will be equal to, when I apply these values, it will be PPN. So this will be basically B by 2 cos phi into C KPC plus Q KPQ. Okay, plus half gamma B square by 4 10 phi by cos square alpha KP gamma. Okay, in this case I have applied all these things. What you have written here, we applied here, and this is what we are getting. Okay, so we are applying these values in equation 14.63, and this is the applied case in case of 14.64. Here C KPC and Q KPQ is PPN is the normal component of the passive pressure component in the effect of the cohesion and such. So here these two factors KPC and KPQ are considering the cohesion and the surcharge. Surcharge means the extra soil which is above the bottom surface of the foundation. So this has been not considered earlier. So these two are the considered in this case. Okay. Now, so combining equation 14.64 with equation 14.58. So 14.64 you have already seen. Okay, this is for the 14.64. Okay, and 14.58 you see this keyword here. Okay, so when you combining these two, so here the PP value is there. Okay, so when you combine these two, this PP value will go up there, and this equation will be QL will be C into KPC by cos square phi plus 10 phi plus KPQ by cos square phi plus gamma for 10 phi KP gamma cos square phi minus 1. Okay, this is the final equation of the Terzaghi theory. Okay, now we need to see what is this KPC, KPQ, KP gamma value. Okay, and these are pure numbers and not dependent on the CB value. That means they do not depend on the size and shape of the foundation. They depend upon the type of soil you are dealing with. Okay, so here if the soil wedge ABC is assumed to weightless, that is gamma equal to 0. You may be asking why, but for pure case we can consider that also. So they are assuming that the wedge has a weight of 0. Okay, so KQ alt Q alt C plus Q alt Q equal to C KPC by cos square phi plus 10 phi plus KPQ by cos square phi, because this gamma factor is 0. Okay, so this term will be 0. Okay, that's why. So this will be CNC plus QNQ. Okay, so when you see it in that way, now this equation, once you make it 0, this equation becomes simpler. Okay. So I'm this part, this I'm writing in terms of C. Here it is C is there. Okay, here it is written in terms of Q. So this will be like this. So C and C plus Q and Q, and C is the cohesion factor, Q is the overburden pressure. Okay, so because of that, this NC and NQ are the bearing capacity factor for the cohesion, bearing capacity factor for the overburden pressure. And this is the, when you combine all these three, this will be the case. QLW, QLC, QLQ, QL gamma. So when you write it in this form, it will be CNC gamma DF, which is Q, NQ plus 0.5 gamma B and gamma. Okay. So this is the final Terzaghi general bearing capacity theory. Okay, formula. So this is the final formula which is used. Okay, and here the NC, NQ, and gamma are the bearing capacity factors. Okay, so this is how the Terzaghi theoretical equation has been developed. Okay. Now, okay, the problem on NC and Q has been rigorously solved by means of ARE stress functions by reasoning all these things. Okay, so now next 10 minutes is over. So within 5 minutes I will finish it. Then we'll go for the question answer. Okay. Now, So using that, regularly solved by using, so this is the final value which is coming, NC equal to cot phi. This is also how it is developed. I can show it, but it is beyond your coverage area, so I will not. So I will directly show you the NC and Q gamma. So here NC will cot phi a theta square by 2 cos square 45 plus pi by 2 minus 1. A theta is e to the power 3 pi by 4 minus 5 by 2 into 10 pi, and Q is a theta square by 2 cos square 45 plus 5 by 2. So this is the equations which has been the bearing capacity factor which has been developed. Okay, and here so the NC and Q depend only on the value of phi. Okay, and gamma value is 1 by 10 phi by Kp gamma cos square phi minus 1. Here also this Kp gamma value, which is the due to this unit weight, this can be explained in terms of phi value. So this is how you can get the value NC, NQ, and gamma. Once you know the value of NC, NQ, and gamma, you can directly apply it in case of the Terzaghi theory. Okay. Now, next is this is the diagram which I wanted to show you. When this friction angle phi is increasing, okay. So in that cases, how this NC, NQ, and gamma value is varying. This is the values. Okay. So this NC value is going like this. Then gamma value is going like this, then Q value is going like this. Okay, so bearing capacity factors are like this. And basically they are numberless, so this is will be like this only, pure numbers. Okay. Next is when you apply the phi value, okay, theta phi value. So what is the NC, NQ, and gamma? This all the formula already know. You can apply these values in the NC, NQ, and gamma value equations and get the values, and you can compare it also. Okay, so this is how this bearing capacity values has been developed. Now another small things I want to tell you, which is till now what we have developed is actually the general shear local shear, general shear theory. That means if you see here, you see this diagram of Terzaghi which failure zone has been shown. All these zones, which is A, B, C, which is the Rankine active zone, B, D, E, which is the Rankine passive zone, B, C, D, which is the radial zone, they are very well developed because the soil is strong enough, okay, and it is allowing the deformation. It is clearly showing the deformation zone. But it so happens that in some cases, when the soil is not so densely packed, when the soil density is very less, it is loose. In these cases, all these failure surfaces do not form very perfectly. Okay. So in those cases, what will happen? The failure which will happen will be called local shear failure. Okay. So when that happens, this bearing capacity theory which you applied have to be modified in certain way. Now, what is the modification? Okay. Now, before that, I just wanted to show you this diagram. Can you see this diagram here? So here, if you see here, this is the case. X direction is the pressure, in the Y direction in the settlement. Okay. So if you see when the soil is very dense, okay, when this relative density is around 90%, something like that, the failure will happen like this. Okay. Can you see Q alt here? Okay. But if the soil is not so dense, and in this case, when the soil is very dense, around 90% relative density, all those failure zones will perfectly develop. Okay, Rankine zones. But when the soil is loose, it will not form. Okay, the zones will not very clearly discern. You cannot discern, or you cannot see the difference zones. Okay, and the bearing capacity, this curve will also like this. Can you see it? See here, it is not directly. Here the failure is happening like this suddenly, but here the failure is not happening directly. Okay, so using certain methods, we can choose a point here. Okay, with respect, I'll tell you how to choose this. So here, once you there, this is, we are assuming that for this soil with the looser density, this is the bearing capacity, which is lesser than the dense case. Okay, so what we do in this case, the failure line or the load settlement curve will be like this: O, C, and D. Okay. Earlier it was OC1, it is something like that, but now it is OCD. So if you see, that is a lesser value, and the curve is also in the lesser side. Okay. So when that happens, what are the theoretically you have to change, you have to see. Okay. So what we do in these cases is that when such thing is happening, in the soil, maybe whatever the values you are getting will be seed. If it is sorry, if the failure is happening like this, then you can use the general shear theory. But if this is less than 30, actually it is the generally value is considered around 28 to 30 degree. In 30 degree, around 30 degree. In those cases, it is below less than that, that this type of failures will be started. You can see the local shear failure will happen. And that you can check from this deformation pattern. In the failure pattern, you will see it will be like this, not like this perfect failure, sudden failure. It will not like this. It will continuously, it will go like this. So once you see such a case, in that case, to see what is the bearing capacity thing factors, I have to change this basic variables, that is C value has to be C dash. Okay. So C dash value will be 2 by 3C. Whatever the established value of C you have got in the shear test will be, you have to take the C dash, which will be 2/3 by that. Similarly, 10 5, 5 value you have taken would have to be 2 by 3 of 10 5. So if you want to get the higher value, get of 5 dash value, then what you have to do, 10 inverse of 2 by 3, 10 5. That is what you have to do. Okay. So once you get the value of C dash and phi dash, then the the equation of NC dash, NQ dash, and gamma dash is exactly similar to NC, NQ, and gamma. Okay. You have to make these changes and do this NC, N2, and gamma value. You can bearing capacity factors and phi, and you can use those values here in the you can use those values here in the keyword test. Okay, so that is how you will get for the local shear failure. Okay, so that is some diagrams, so you can see here. Okay, so here this is how this NC, NQ, and gamma value, NC dash, NQ dash, gamma value is variating with the value of phi. Okay, so this is what I have done for the Tejagi theory. Okay, so okay, this square footing and circular footing we'll see in the next class. So you want to ask me anything? Please ask me now. Hello? Hello, students.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I hope you can see the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have any doubts? Okay.
No,
If
sir.
if you are not able to say it now, also please write in the mail so that I can tell you later. I can reply you back. Okay. So next class we'll start with this square and the circular footing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And please submit your assignments. Okay, we have already given in the mail. So you have
Okay,
to
sir.
submit the
Okay.
assignments. Okay. Bye bye.
Nice one, sir.
Hello. Who is talking here? Background. So you want to ask anything or talk anything? Say anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. I am finishing it. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Achha, this time is suitable for you people. So because if I want to do these classes, I will keep this time only. So is this okay to you?
Yes, sir. We are comfortable.
Okay. So next onwards, whenever I keep this class, I'll keep in this time only. Please, any other faculty is keeping in this time, please tell them that Manas Bhai sir is taking in this
Yes,
time. Please don't.
we will inform you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Please that tell that faculty also he should not keep in this time. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.